So this is part 2, and this is the final video, and I'll make this martial art rant. Alright, first and foremost, there's all different types of martial arts. Over 1,000 martial arts. Each one has a story, each one has a style, each one has someone just like me who's going to put down a martial art. I do not like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I suck at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I am not a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu expert. I learned my Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu at Fort Benning, Georgia. I sucked at it then, but I learned how to combat it. Alright? And this is what you learn when you learn fighting techniques. You learn how to combat other fighting techniques. Now there will always be someone who will say, karate is better than kung fu, or kung fu is better than karate, or you shouldn't do Wing Chun because it's not got a great stand game, it's just got grapples, and I'm here to say no. Wing Chun and Kung Fu has way more than just grapples and locks. But if I get my grapple or my lock on you, it's going to be a whole different ball game for you. Versus like BJJ, I'm going to say it. I'm going to piss all you BJJ guys off, but I'm going to say it. BJJ is not a useless martial art. It's just not very useful if you can't get me on the ground. Now, everybody who just did BJJ, their thongs just went up their ass. Spaghetti straight. Just went, he's wrong. He's a liar. He's wrong. Okay? Now let me explain it to you like it was explained to me in the Army. The hard way. I had a guy that sat on me that was 300 pounds. I could not get this motherfucker off me to save my life. No matter what they told me to do with the roll and the C-clamp and try to get a top mount and all this other shit. Dead weight is dead weight. And if you don't have upper body strength, BJJ is not for you. I could not move this guy. But I am a street fighter. And I gave him a couple of low blows with my forehead to his testicles. Because I could not get his big ass off me. Alright? The guy was 300 pounds. Every bit of 6'6". Real big white guy. Hello, brother. I cheated. I'm a fighter. Point blank period. People are going to tell you that BJJ is great. And for you guys that do BJJ and you like rolling and having heavy, sweaty ass men all over you, hey, congratulations. I'm going to tell you, BJJ is great too. It's just not great for me because I fucking suck at it. But what I learned in the Army was I can beat a BJJ person. Because first off, they got to get me on the ground. They can't get me on the ground, they can't beat me. But I also learned that even if they get me on the ground, they still can't beat me. Now let me explain that, as I had to teach my nephew yesterday ways of getting out of top mount and side control and rear guard. A lot of people sleep on those Wing Chun holds and those Japanese Fujiwara locks and all the other Kimuras and all the other locks that come with karate. When you're sleeping on that shit and you're a BJJ person, that's when that shit's going to be used against you. And judo locks do work. Kempo pressure points do work. Now, they might not work on everybody, but that might be because you don't know where every pressure point is. You have 365 of them in the human body. So whoever's sleeping on pressure points, hey, that's your problem. You just ain't had the right person put the motherfuckers on you. That's all to that. Those who control the human body control the destiny of man. I know the right pressure points to get you, and I'm going to use them. As I had to teach my nephew yesterday when he got off of top mount and wound up on the bottom, and then I had back rear guard. But I was on his back. I said, all I really got to do is pull your arm through, and I got you in a fucking lock. And if I can get you in any lock from a BJJ position, then something went wrong because I suck at BJJ. It didn't go wrong on my half, it went wrong on yours. And the thing that I learned in the Army with BJJ is that your opponent's skills is everything. When I was getting set on by the 300 plus pound dude, my Army brother, my battle buddy, and no, I will not say his name because I don't fucking remember it, but we were in Delta Company, so if you're watching, thank you for your service. Now, I headbutted him in the nuts. He had me by the lapel, I tried the C-clamp roll, shit didn't work. But when I snatched his hands from over this way and grabbed him by the back of his pants and pulled forward and headbutted him in the shit, that shit works. I also was able to get behind him after that and get in rear choke guard. Now, I taught my nieces and nephews yesterday chokeholds, and I probably shouldn't have taught them, and I pray like hell that they don't use them on people. But here's the thing about martial arts. This is the thing that everybody needs to know. Everybody who's watching, everybody who's doing martial arts, you need to know quite a few things, but this is the most important thing. You do not know who you are fighting until the first punch is thrown or the first kick is thrown. You do not know how strong that person is until you fuck up and eat one. Alright? Because you can block. You can block all day. No. But what you need to know, what they need to tell you is, no matter what martial arts you take, you need to be well-rounded in how to counter and counter and counter, adapt, adapt, adapt. You need to know how to do all this shit. You're not good at BJJ, it's fine. But you need to know how to combat BJJ. You're not good at Wing Chun, you need to know how to contract or combat Wing Chun. You also need to know how to not get in the position where you can be gripped. Alright? Like a lot of Wing Chun, we look like we stand in southpaw. It's because we kind of are standing southpaw. But the average person that does boxing is right-handed and they stand this way. So when they're throwing their jab and you're doing Wing Chun, boom, boom. But if you want to grab their shit, this is what this is for. I can bat it into my hand. I can bat it into my hand, I can pull you, and I can break your elbow, and then I can smash you by either going under or over. So boom, break, boom, for Kung Fu. And now for karate, if you're standing like this, and I'm standing like this, I have to worry about your overbearing left hand. So I'm throwing a right, and you're throwing a right. This is why I'm blocking with my left. Now, since we're both southpaw, we got to work that shit out. Alright? Now, if I'm standing in the average position, and you're standing in the southpaw position, but you're doing karate, it's going to throw off my game a little bit, because I've never really seen a karate style that teaches you a southpaw stance. Now, Wing Chun, you're standing in a southpaw stance, and it's a back strike. It's a back strike. You know, it's really quick, or it's a back grip. And when you grip and pull an elbow, because I can break your elbow and elbow you, or I can break your elbow and back fist you, or I can break your elbow and lock your arm and pull you this way into a knee, then I can elbow you again. Kung Fu is very, very simple. Karate is very technical. Taekwondo is safe karate, as they like to call it, where you're fighting at range. But I'm short. I took Taekwondo. So you can still be in trouble fighting a short person with Taekwondo. But as a short person, you have to understand that Taekwondo has a lot of finesse to it. So you need to be very, very aware of that shit. You need to be able to adapt. It's the same thing with capoeira. If you're fighting capoeira, understand the level of jingas. Understand, read my body. Alright? I'm going to do this so you understand. I don't have a lot of range of motion, so my jinga is high. Alright? I'm not deep down here. Now, there's the three levels. You got the guy that has no range of motion, but he can still jinga. You got the guy that's got a little bit more. He can still jinga. Then you got that guy that's an ace, that's got all the range of motion. You know. Then you got those retarded guys. They're opposite leg, opposite hand blockers. You got to understand, not everybody jingas the same. Now, say you've never seen that before, but you know Drunken Master. Your Drunken Master sway is an equivalent to the jinga. Alright? Now, how many Kung Fu people and Capoeira people I just pissed off? It is the truth. If you don't know Capoeira, but you know Drunken Master, you can combat that shit. Because you're going to match their jinga with your sway. You just got to find their rhythm. And then you got to sucker them into fighting your fight. Now, if you're going with Crane for Kung Fu, Crane for Karate. Exact same beginning. Snake, both styles exactly the same. So, you got to figure out which one you're going to use. Alright? Now, a lot of people are going to get pissed off because I'm telling shit that I probably shouldn't be telling. But the fact of the matter is, it doesn't matter if you go here, you go here, you go here, it doesn't matter. What matters is that guy on the other side of the battlefield. That's when you know what's going on. Because when that guy steps in, and you're blocking, he comes in with a counter, boom, 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 you're going to know what's going to be necessary. You're going to know what's going to be needed. And it doesn't hurt for anybody to go study other styles. It doesn't hurt. I'm not saying become an MMA master. I'm just saying that you need to study all styles that you can come across of. Even Sistema, even Krav Maga. I do not like those. I've watched a Krav Maga class. I've watched Sistema on YouTube. I don't really like them. They're not for me. I'm not going to insult them because that would be the day that I come across a Sistema dude and get fucked up. Alright? And that's another thing. Your mindset. Your mindset must always be prepared to die so that you can live versus victory. Because the fight ain't over until the last man is standing. And that's something that they don't really prepare you for in school. Because here's the average martial arts school on a daily basis. Alright, children. Chiyo Kinye. Alright. Finally in the rest position, we're going to do some push-ups. We're going to do some setups. We're going to run laps. After we do that for like the first 15 minutes of class, I want you all in horse stance. Alright? Right foot back, left arm up. Transition. Transition. So you're going to learn that for damn near a year. Then your teacher's going to learn to make sure that he's taught you right. You're going to block this hammer fist or this horse fist, depending on what school you go to. So you're going to go here, and your teacher's going to go here. Alright? He's going to do it to every student in the line. Every student has to know how to block this shit. And this is before you start testing for your belts. Alright? So he's coming down. You know, you got to get your torque. He's going to correct you if your torque's not right. Now, here's my saying on that. My torque is never going to be right. Because my body is not your body. It's not going to look exactly like that. Nothing that I do is going to look like what the sensei does. The second you learn that, you're halfway home. Because you're going to be too busy trying to emulate this guy instead of figuring out why your body doesn't look like that. Because your body is not his body. Another trick that they don't teach you. Because you're going to spend half your time trying to do this butterfly kick that I shouldn't attempt, but I'm going to attempt. And my butterfly kick is far from perfect. Watch and learn. And when you watch an ice skater, when you get done watching this, go watch an ice skater. I can't remember her name. She's a young black girl. Her butterfly kick is ice cold, cool as shit. Here's my sucky ass butterfly kick. Okay? I almost ate dirt. That's my sucky ass butterfly kick. Now, when you go watch these ice skaters and they do their butterfly kick, their body are flat, their angles are perfect. My hip replacement is no excuse. My butterfly kick sucked before that. Alright? Same thing with my reverse tornado kick. I am never going to look as good as Brian Genesis or Billy Worth. Understand that. Michael Worth, excuse me. I'm never going to look as good as Ray Park or Gary Daniels. But here's my reverse tornado kick. I'm never going to look as good as Jason David Frank did. Alright? But I am not trying to look as good as them. Because my body is not their body. Here's my tornado kick. It's not going to look as good as the people you see on TV. The reason it's not going to look as good as the people you see on TV is because I'm not on TV. Secondly, my body is not their body. Your body will never look like your teacher's body. Stop that shit. Your body's going to look like what your body's supposed to look like when it doesn't. Alright? For those who do boom, boom, or for those who do, that kick, it's not going to look the same as mine. Alright? If I do a jumping front kick into a side kick, boom, it's not going to look the same as the guy you saw do that shit on TV. Because I'm not that guy. From this angle, boom. Now you see my guard was a little off. That's a no-no. My guard should have been here. It wasn't. Because habit. Let's try it again. Boom. And my guard was still extended. You see that? Now we're going to try it again. And I'm going to do my damnedest to keep my guard up here. It's probably not going to happen. Because of habit. So, boom. That's a little better. I had to force myself to do it. And my alarm's going off. I got to hurry up and end this. And get chased by groundhogs. Yeah, you're a small guy. Now, the thing is, knowing how your body works so that you can know how other people's bodies work. Alright, guy's coming in for a sweep and I want to do crane. He's going front sweep and I'm doing Chinese Kung Fu. My crane escape is good. He goes under my foot. My retaliation should have came immediately. Instead of holding this position, it should have been a return. Real quick. Should have been just like that. It shouldn't have been, oh, I'm going to look good doing a crane motion. Or flying monkey. No. When you lift your foot when somebody's sweeping, you need to return. Unless you're making a movie. Because then it has to be cool. The reality of fighting is not cool. Fighting hurts. Getting punched in the face hurts. Getting kicked in the body hurts. Another thing they don't prepare you for. Now, when you're doing it in tournament style, you do have protection. You have the vest, the headgear, the mouth guard, the gloves, the elbow pads, the knee pads, the cup, the shit that you need, the essentials. However, in no point in your life are you going to walk around in that body armor all goddamn day long, waiting for someone to attack you. Again, when you're taking martial arts, people need to start telling you the fucking truth. Alright? Fighting hurts. Learning how to fight so that you don't have to fight is aces in my book. But then you also have to look at your situation. I'm a short man. Everyone thinks they can whoop my ass. I like it like that. Because I don't have a problem surprising people who think they're badasses. Now, I knock a few martial arts. Not gonna lie. I knocked 3 of them in this entire video and in this live. I said bad shit about Sistema. I said bad shit about Krav Maga, and I said bad shit about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Now, 2 of them I didn't take. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I did take. And again, I suck at that shit. Never said I was a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu master. But I can fuck a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu master up if they get me on the ground. Because I do know enough Kenpo to use pressure points. I do know enough Gung Fu to get the fuck from being under you long enough before you can start dropping soup bones on me. I was a street fighter first. You learn shit in the street. You do. You also learn how much of an ass whooping you can take in the streets. You don't learn that shit in the dojo. And I'm going to end with this. I love y'all, and y'all don't have to like what I'm about to say, but I'm going to tell you the truth, and I'm going to end with the truth. 70-30. I understand that concept. 70-30. 70% of what you are going to learn in the dojo is only going to work in the dojo. The 30% that you learned in the dojo is only going to work outside the dojo. Your job as a martial artist is to figure out the in-between to make all 100% work. And until you can do that, you need to hear what I have to say. A lot of people take martial arts for fitness. A lot of people take martial arts for fun. A lot of people take martial arts to learn how to fight so that they will never ever have to run. I took martial arts for the third reason. I was forced to fight as a child from the age of 6 to 12. If I'm teaching you something here, it's because I've been there, done that, and I'm probably better than most of the people that you are probably following right now. And even I am entitled to slip and get my ass knocked out. Because the first time that you think you are invincible will be the first time that you meet the gods of sleep known as the Sandman. And you don't have to believe it. I'm not here to make you believe it. I'm here to teach you right from wrong. I'm here to let you know that you need to be able to recognize the style when that person goes into it. They get into this fighting stance here, if they're boxing, you know right now I'm in a southpaw stance. For those on the computer so that you can see, you know this is a southpaw stance. But it is also a traditional Wing Chun stance. It can also be a Gung Fu stance. You need to understand that there's 1,000 variables in a fight. And 1,000 things can go wrong before one thing goes right. Try to keep that in mind. Much love. I'll see you next time. This is Kung Fu Africa number 2. And for y'all at TikTok, yeah, stop this. No, I didn't. Son of a bitch.